Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here. I don't have a review for you today, but I want to talk about the independent craft beer seal that was just released yesterday. So let's talk about it. So yeah, yesterday the 27th, the Brewers Association announced that they would be releasing this craft beer seal, independent craft beer seal, I should say, that brewers can put on their bottles, can put on their merchandising, that basically lets everybody know that they're craft brewers. I was just kind of looking over the rules just now, or I guess some of the how it's defined. Not really rules. I guess they're not gonna, they're not like laws or anything. But basically they have to be small, so less than 6 million barrels of beer a year. Independent, less than 25% of the craft brewery is owned or controlled by an alcohol industry member that is not itself a craft brewer, so that eliminates like Founders, because they have a 25%, greater than 25% stake. Another company owns greater than 25% of them. I wish I could have just said that all at once. Or I don't know if these are or rules, but traditional, meaning a brewer that has a majority of its total beverage alcohol volume in beer whose flavors derives from traditional or innovative brewing ingredients. So flavored malt beverages, so like, Mickey's couldn't be, or St. Ides or something, couldn't be considered independent craft brewers. So I'm just kind of wondering what the community out there thinks, the beer community thinks about this. Is this like something that's important to you? Is it going to dissuade you from drinking or trying or buying beer from brewers that aren't on this list or that don't have this logo? Are you going to go to your local beer store and look for this logo on the packaging? And if you don't see it, are you not going to buy it? Are you not going to buy like a Lagunitas because it doesn't have this logo? Are you not going to buy Founders because it doesn't have this logo? I mean, this channel is almost exclusively Michigan beer. I'm not going to say that I'm never going to do non-Michigan beer, because I do plan on doing non-Michigan beer. There's a Stone Tangerine IPA Express that I really want to try, or Tangerine Express IPA that I really want to try. Does that mean that I'm not going to do it on this channel? No, I'll probably do it for the channel because I think other people are interested in it, but I'm primarily focused on Michigan beer. I'm not going to shy away from Founders because I think they're doing really innovative things in the beer space that a lot of other brewers aren't doing. They're really still very innovative, I think, and they still have a lot of things that are just really intriguing to me. But I mean, I'm gonna favor, me personally, I always say it on this channel or every video, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and that's really important to me. I think that it's not cool that these major players like AnBev, Miller Coors, Heineken are buying, even suppliers, they're buying small craft beers, trying to masquerade those off as still being independent. They're buying suppliers like Northern Brewer, and they are, I'm sure, buying larger suppliers, and their plan is to buy as many breweries as possible, craft beer breweries. They can lower the price of their traditional beer like Budweiser or, Miller Lite. They can drive those prices down, drive craft beer up. It looks better. I mean, this is at least in my mind what they'll probably end up doing. Drive prices to craft beer up. So if you want to buy craft beer, you're, the layman, the person that's not really into craft beer, they're never going to drink craft beer anyways because they're used to Budweiser. But somebody who's on the fence and they're like, well, Budweiser's okay, I guess I'll try that. Or maybe, I don't know, is this craft beer seal going to dissuade you? Do you think it's gonna, let me put it this way. Do you think that it's going to persuade, or it's going to even put a differentiation in some people's minds that don't really care? They might think, I'm sure there are people out there that think that Shock Top is independent, or think that Killian's is independent. I mean, I know that they're not. I know that they're owned by Miller Coors, but, a lot of people, they don't really care. So do you think that having this independent craft beer seal, and by the way, the logo should be up here, so you know what to look out for, do you think that that's going to influence anybody? Do you think it's important? I just kind of want to hear what you guys think. I think it is important. I'm glad that I know what how it's defined, because at first I was like, well, if it's not defined any particular way, you know, what does it really matter? Like Dogfish Head is probably the biggest brewer, and they were one of the first to come out and say, yeah, we're going to have this on our beer. But I don't know how many million barrels they produce. It seems like it's not hard to get their product. So do they actually fall in these guidelines? Are these guidelines either ors? You know, do you have, or, you know, are they ands? Like, do you have to meet all these three criteria, small, independent, and traditional? I don't know. But I think it's really interesting to see, and I think it's going to really help the craft beer market. And I hope it influences people to buy craft beer. So just let me know what you think in the comments below. I know my hands are way up here because I'm a lot closer to the camera than I usually am, but I just want to start a discussion and see what you guys think. I think it will influence me for the most part, but I think that for me, I'm kind of already buying beer that's independent anyways, because I look for it. I know who's independent, or for the most part who's independent, and you know, that's important to me. But to somebody who doesn't really know, do you think it's going to influence their decision? And is it going to influence your decision? Are you not going to buy something that you've had your eye on buying if it's from somebody that you didn't realize wasn't independent? I mean, this is, again, a really silly example, but Blue Moon, you know, they release like a Harvest Moon, and I love Blue Moon. I want to try all the things Blue Moon does because they're a great craft beer. Are you going to not buy the new Harvest wheat beer or whatever, you know, crazy variation on the same thing that they're going to release? I don't know. Are you going to not get the pretzel shock top beer that sounds so awesome? I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to buy it because I probably wasn't going to buy it anyways, but is the seal going to influence your decision? Just let me know in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to do, is kind of come out and address that and see what everybody else thinks. So anyways, as always, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. I mean, I'm always Sean. I don't know if I'll always be from Draft Therapy. I hope so. You know, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, drink craft beer. Support your local breweries and these independent brewer seal breweries. And anyways, you know, how do you feel about it? And in the meantime, until we see each other next time, indulge yourself in a little draft therapy. Cheers.